Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play Europa Universalis for MEIOU and Taxes 3.0 with me, Alpha Omega, and the Ottoman with Devlet-i. So it has been, honestly, a couple of days since I last recorded Europa Universalis 4. I took a little bit of a break after, doing the review episode and posting the couple ones after that. And today we have to pick it up from where we left. I used this time not only to rest though, but I also used it to dig deep into my history books and look at what the Ottomans were doing at this time. Now, it is not exactly always easy to find data on, periods of late medieval ages or, start of the modern era. But there is a couple of things that I took from the research. First of all, we have gained Constantinople, but you guys already know that, about 30 years earlier, actually 33 years earlier than we should have. And we got it in much better shape than it historically was. I was kind of surprised by that, but when we look at the population we have here, we have roughly, what does it show me, the total number? It doesn't, but yeah, let's call this 125,000, maybe 130,000 people living in the province of Constantinople. Now, of course, these are split into peasants and residents, but due to the location, we can consider this as a whole population of Constantinople. Historically, when the Ottomans conquered Constantinople in 1453, the city was much smaller than I actually thought it was. It had roughly between 50 to 80,000. Sources on that vary, but I haven't seen a single one that would state that Constantinople had more than 100,000 people. The reason for that is kind of obvious. The city has been besieged many times. A number of plagues have struck it. The constant threat of the Ottoman conquest, the decreasing potential for trade because it was surrounded by enemies on all sides, drove many away. Now, just a couple hundred years before that, Constantinople had over 500,000, and it is worth noting that by 1480 it was back to about 100,000 people, so it increased by about 30 to 50,000 people. By 1600 it had 700,000 people, and by 1800 it was closing on to 1,000,000. So Ottomans really did pick up Constantinople in its weakest state and brought it back to the glory. So we're gonna have to look into that, and I would like to see the same thing happening. We're gonna try to make it as good as possible. We already started with that sort of by role-playing the tax relief, though I don't really think that has much effect on the province because it has no trauma at all. What we need to do though is convert the local population as fast as possible to the Sunni faith, and I would definitely like to build a massive fort here to ensure that the city is well protected. We will never get the Theodosian walls again, but Constantinople is definitely going to have an increase in garrison once we can afford it, and we're going to invest in it a little bit more heavily. It still has an ongoing construction of pathing, harborage, and capital, so we're going to see how long that's going to take. But I took the time to also look at other places like Edirne and Bursa, where we are actually kind of struggling with fitting our population in, because we have the amenities at level 2 and at level 1 in Edirne, and that is limiting the amount of city population that can live there. I think we're gonna find a similar problem in other places as well. In Kita here we have 29,000 people. The limit is 33. Ideal is 34,000. Okay, so the amenities are at level 2. Eskişehir here has also level 2, but we're fine. What about Ankara? Ankara has 38,000, and the ideal is 44,000. Yep. So we have a lot of places where it would benefit us if we increased the amenities. We also need to let ourselves rest a bit, because when you look at the overall situation, while we have regained quite a lot of the income from the taxes, it is mostly because we don't have that much of a manpower or standing army. We don't even have that many ships, and we have took down all of the forts. If we raise those forts, raised the maintenance, it would be a completely different situation. So what I'm trying to say here, and I know that you guys want to see more conflicts, and I am looking forward to the conquest of the Balkans as well, but at this point I think we really need to lay low for a couple of years. There is a number of reasons for that. Mostly we need the manpower to recover, but we also need to increase the loyalty of our estates. Nobility is at 31%, okay, clans are at 49%, but clergy is at 42%, burghers are at 53%. Bureaucracy has only 11, and there is a number of things that we could change here, things that we could take. Our stability is at 0 and it's dropping because we keep expanding or extending the state reach, but we're not really offsetting it in any way. So while the centralization is continuing, the autonomy is dropping. The estates are clearly unhappy with that, and we need to look into it. A conflict with our Serbian enemies at this point would mean taking against us an army of this size. We've already seen that before, and while I could field an army of a similar size, we don't have any allies apart from Eretnitz that would join us, but we would face this amount of reserves. Look at that, they got what? 6,000, 1,100, 1,060, 2,400. So they got much bigger reserves than we do. And fighting them in any capacity will incur a lot of attrition to us. Hungary is an even worse story. They got 36,000 men in standing army. They got allies that would join them, and they would just wreck our day. Plus, the issue here is also that we have a huge amount of aggressive expansion incurred. While it is dropping by 3 per year, I think any kind of larger conquest would trigger a coalition between Hungary and Serbia against us. They would, of course, drag Transylvania and the other states into it. Just, it would be a nightmare. So I think that the safe strategy here for now is to just focus inwards. And by the way, Ottomans did that in a way. While there was a lot of conquest in Anatolia and into the Balkans and into Greece by 1453, there is a big shift between the area, or between the era before the Ottomans actually conquered Constantinople and after, because the conquest of Constantinople gave them a huge boost to bureaucracy, to the it wouldn't be like an expenditure of power, but to the basically to the state reach. It's what we're doing here anyway. So I think that what I'm gonna do here is I'm just gonna burn a lot of time. Let us get rid of that. That aggressive expansion, just focus inwards, let us develop, get more money, get more manpower. The only exception that I'm actually considering here is we could attack Kartvelia and drag into the war Fyodoro. And Fyodoro, if we attack, not Kartvelia, we could attack Trabzon, and that would drag into the war Fyodoro, which we could annex Fyodoro, giving us a little bit of a territory at the Gulf of Odessa. And that is beneficial mostly because it borders Genoa. And Genoa has a huge city over here of Kaffa, which has about 120,000 people. It has an urban development of 21, a large city. And I think that would give us a little bit of a potential for expansion. Now, you might say that it's bad because we would border Lithuania, but we already do border Lithuania, and if we focus on improving relations with them even further, we should be fine. So my plan for the next 2-3 years is just to, go through them, let us shave off a little bit of that aggressive expansion. Then we're gonna attack Fyodor, or we might actually do that maybe next year. How much defenses you have here? You have a pretty big fort in this city. I mean, we already sacked it before, which caused a lot of damage, but there's still a lot of people here. My goal would be to puppet Trabzon and annex Fyodor, because we don't really... There's not a viable target for a puppet anywhere. When you look at the situation here, Dulkadirs are already a puppet of the Mamluks, and Aratnids are already a puppet of us, and if we went for someone like Akkoyunu... Okay, Akkoyunu might be a good... Akkoyunu... Oh wow, Akkoyunu might actually be a great ally here. They would accept an alliance. Okay, I didn't notice that. And they would even become a tributary. They would not become a vassal. But one more ally would mean that we are absolutely secure when it comes to the eastern area, because we would be protected by Iran, Servan, and Akkoyunu, which is more than enough to offset the threat of the Mamluks for this area. Yeah, they got ton and ton of troops. They're allied with Mamluks. That's kind of interesting. Mongol. Which ones are you? 7,000 men. Okay. Well, that would help us significantly. So then we might be willing to annex them here. What's our autonomy here? It's dropping significantly, so actually getting these two... Okay, so we could annex you guys anew. Okay, so, I now have a new plan. So Aratnids, we have an improved relation with them, so we're gonna stop improving that. And we are gonna focus on getting Akkoyunu as an ally, and then we're gonna, probably next year, declare war on Trabzon, because that is something that would greatly benefit us. I wanted to puppet them, but considering that we can get a third ally here, we are going to be doing good. Now let us look at what we can do with the elites here. I could potentially... Yeah, I have only one possibility to do a reform here when it comes to the nobility. Noble administration to cash dues. Noble obligation. They will pay obligations to society in both service and limited cash dues, depending on where their royalties lie. So that would increase their gravity, 40% base manpower from nobility, 15% investment in noble levies, revenue in tax. Okay, so this would increase the base manpower, but lower the revenue. It's gonna make them mad. Noble administration and the above one. You don't meet the requirements. Okay, it's not showing me the possibility of over governance. The seniority. Maybe some, but this would displease them. No investment in levies. I don't think that's the way to go. We'd much better support them. But that could be a strategic marriage would give them more power. But it would also increase their loyalty and it would give us diplomatic reputation, chance of a new heir, aristocratic influence, and a little bit of... We're mostly interested in the loyalty, to be quite honest, because we have tanked that one quite significantly, and we still don't have an heir. So that might not be such a bad choice. So let's arrange a strategic marriage. That's gonna help us with the loyalty a bit. What about burghers? Can we do something with you that would not hurt us in any significant way? Promote them, that makes everyone mad. Support burgher autonomy. Lower stability, they gain a little bit of power, but we get 20 loyalty. The power is 22. Monthly autonomy change. Pardon smugglers. Corruption. Tax relief. From all commerce fees. The issue here is I don't really know how much that's gonna impact us. I don't really like the idea of screwing that one up. The bureaucracy. So I might want to actually support their autonomy. For some reason that lowers stability, I don't know why. But 20 loyalty is more than enough for me to offset that. Okay, anything we can leverage them for? Secure naval supply, anti-competitive practice. Nope. Okay, we don't want that. And bureaucracy. So what could we do with / official wages? Increase corruption, so we really don't want to do that. Direct bureaucracy. Promote the faction, align with them. Increases corruption. We have a huge corruption from the bureaucracy, so I'm not really that interested in it. And we can't really do any reforms at this point, which is a little bit bad when you think about it. Wilderness. Worker size modifier, commerce production. And the big wilderness will do what? Base consultation. Lowers the big wilderness to commercial restrictions. We want to be more interested in increasing that than decreasing it, honestly. So it's not like we want to do that. But the issue here that I have is that our stability is dropping like a rock. Executive offer the national income. Can I see? Okay, I can see the taxes here. Fees, excise fund, property. Yeah, corruption is taking 256 gold. We're getting 9 from them. Sure, so it's actually stability increase interval. Okay, I think we can do this. That's gonna hit us severely into the income, but it should be fine. 2.69. 2.65. That didn't hit us much at all. And last but not least, let's look at clergy, because those guys have a low stability. Dropped again, but that was to be expected. What about you guys? Can you do something with you? Empower the clergy. Donate to the church. Clergy loyalty. Lavish or endow the church. Perform a show of devotion. That is actually a pretty good one. Low stability. We lose a bit of prestige, a little bit of power, but we get 15 relations and loyalty. Okay, so let's do that. That is not an issue. That increased our stability. We keep increasing the loyalty, which is pretty good. So that actually makes a lot of sense in the general scheme. But the bureaucrat's loyalty, I think that 11% is actually connected to something else. Because it might seem like that, but I have a feeling that's actually their influence. It's not actual loyalty. It's influence or something. Military service. And it's volunteers. We don't want that. Okay, so we converted the Ematie, and Hungary was building a spy network. Okay, not great. So missionaries. They're still working on Constantinople. And Ematie. Over here. So the population here. Wow, not even close. Okay, so it's giving us the most unity issues. Hokidiki. Okay, let's work on those. Those are fast and will be fine. And we finished a ship. Okay, what are you doing? You're not doing anything, you're just stuck there. Okay, there is a little bit of an issue with that. I forgot to send my navy back to protect trade, so we're gonna have to fix that. But we'll be able to do that now, and we've already finished. Yep. So you will protect trade in here. You are actually already doing that in the Aegean Sea, and so can you. So let's send you into Aegean Sea. You guys are all going to unite. Burden of taxation, that is fine. How much did the loyalty of the nobility increased? Not at all. Okay. So we have a pretty bad basic performance. So what's the income now? 2.2. Okay, well at least we sort of increased it, but the stability is a major issue. It's dropping still. So what can I do? Common interaction. I think we can fix some of our stability problems by spending a little bit of money on the people. Temporary tax relief. Elite faction and state. Let's provide a grade for commoners. Okay, that increased our stability back, but I don't really think... Yeah, it's gonna hold. But that's slightly increased the loyalty. It lowered our cost, but it doesn't really matter. Okay, we're gonna sign an alliance with the Akuyunu. Corruption in Usak. We've learned that the Bay of Usak is withholding the taxes that should be sent to Constantinople. Put an end to it. Put an end to it. You will not play us like that. Okay, we need to finish the trade ideas too, don't we? Yeah, I don't really have nowhere near the amount. I'm a little bit sad that we don't have a legal heir. It's not great. Okay, now we have 80 relations. So what I can do here is I can remove you from the automation, and we can use you. Wait, where are you, diplomats? Diplomats over here. And we're gonna use you as an emissary for the alliance. And now we need to kill the military axis that we have with Athens, because we get too many relations. Where is it? Here, cancel military access. And we're back to 4. Yep. Amazing job. So, what can we do next? Royal marriage? The governmental form is a sultanate. Why would that? They're not a horde. So that's a little bit weird, but whatever. Whatever. They would transfer trade power. Okay, how much? 47%. Okay, sure, do that. Give me all of your trade power. Okay. Taxes are fine. Okay, Constantinople has been partially converted, which is good. So how much now? Wait, here. 46,000 Sunni and 84,000. Okay, so we'll have to do it a couple more times, but it's not anything critical. Expiring casus belli, huh? On Ayyubids. The mission string is minus religious zeal. Recently conquered. Where the hell did that come from? Well, go to Emahia then. And I think that right now is a good time to prepare to go and attack Trabzon. What we'll need to do is create a northern army that's gonna protect us from the incursion from Friodoro. So give me a sec. How much? 3? Yeah, 3 regiments can be raised in the north. So I'm gonna raise an infantry, Ottoman Janissaries, and Derbent light cavalry over here, and are gonna be stationed in Tusea to actually repel anyone coming from Fyodora. And we do have a fairly nice large navy for transport, so we can actually move our troops once we are done with Trabzon to invade Fyodora. Okay, that makes a whole lot of sense. If you think about it, you know, it does. I was thinking that this episode would be mostly skipping, but we actually have a ton of things to do. And well, I don't think this is any kind of challenge for us. The fact that we're actually doing so well is good. Tributary. You know, tribute. I don't care what they did in Serbia. Influence nation. Okay, that's interesting. Let's proclaim a guarantee on them. Why not? We already have high relations with them and we have an alliance, so it doesn't really change anything. Okay, we need to start investing in our army now. Investment manager. Okay, so what did we do? Your advisors are hard at work managing your investment. We have no debt, a positive monthly income. So invested in Charshamba. Not much. Beesha here. Not much either. Bolu. Not much either. I'm interested in the investment in Constantinople. That one is actually the one that I'm looking for. Gönen, Usak, Ordu. Quite a... I mean, it's not a large but prominent investment in forestry. Kirikalle. Strimon. Constantinople. Nothing. Barely anything. A little bit in extraction, a little bit in fishery, and a little bit in agriculture. Okay, I'm surprised by that. Yeah, these are really minor investments. I think our economy is doing actually pretty good at this point. Because, okay, Enkiri you get large agriculture and industrial investment. Muscara, Embo, Edirne, Konya, Constanta. These are all very minor investments, which is fine, you know. It means that the economy is actually balanced. I mean, it's not... Okay, big one in Bursa. It means that it's currently at a balance. There's no major growth, but there's also no major issue. Tequila had a large agriculture investment. Aigayon Pelagos. Poroi got agriculture, extraction, and fishery. Sivhisar. Urva. Aksaray, Tire, Dospat. Manisa, a large industrial one. Marmaris, Mugua, Alania. A balanced investment in pretty much everything. Emathie, Varna, Shehir, Vitiosa, Izmit, Sinop, Onas, Iskidar, Dimatoka. Yeah, but investing a little bit in all products. Okay, Eskishehir got a hefty investment in industry. Chunky, Karaman. Okay, that's still pretty good. So you guys need to go over there. And go now. And protect this area. You guys are stationed here, ready to invade. Good news is that we still have a fairly stable income. And the limit. You guys need to unite. Here we go. The sons of Murad II. His Majesty Murad II has a reputation as a great man. So he is a brilliant strategist, a natural leader. Well, no. Let's go with Mehmet. Diplomatic 5, military 4. That's not bad. And Murad is arbitrary. That is an interesting one. National unrest increased, diplomatic reputation decreased, but unjustified demand, cost to fabricate claim, and cost to justify trade conflict are all lowered. Liberty desire increased, and change arrival cost lowered. That's an interesting one. I haven't had that one in a while. Burden of taxation. Okay, so because we now have an heir, we can actually assign Murad as our leader. Because I kind of like to roleplay that, but I don't like to roleplay that so much. Oh, he's really not good though. Okay, but I still think we're gonna use him. Is siege free, did I saw correctly? Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay. And you are going to be located over here. And we are going to declare war now on you. And the co-belligerent. Do they have any allies? No. Okay, with that said, we can make them a co-belligerent, and our goal is to take Trapezonta. Nah, and we don't really need to call in anyone. So declare war, and in the next episode we are going to continue. I mean, this is not much in the spirit of, lay low, but I think that we have already already lowered the aggressive expansion by nearly 10 with Hungary. And with Serbia it dropped, from 45 to 35. Okay, so that's what we need to see. Anyway, see you in the next episode.